Good afternoon. I'm Sheriff Bill Leeper, and I want to thank you for being here. We want to provide our citizens with a brief update on Tropical Storm Nicole. I have with me NCSO Director Bobby Lippelman, who is serving as Interim EM Director for this event, County Manager Taco Pope, Nassau County Fire Chief Brady Rigdon, Fernandina Beach Police Chief Jim Hurley, Fernandina Beach Deputy Chief Jeff Tambasco, and Fernandina Beach Fire Chief Ty Silcox. The Nassau County Emergency Management is closely monitoring the path of Tropical Storm Nicole and is preparing for any potential weather impacts it could bring. Nassau County has issued an evacuation order for zones A Alpha and D Delta. Depending on any flooding results that may occur, we are unable to tell residents when they will be able to return, as that will depend on damages from the storm and associated assessments deeming it safe to return. If you don't know your zone, head to onenassau.com/evacuations. If you are along the coastal areas in these zones, we expect flooding to occur. Just remember, you don't have to go very far, just away from the water area or into the next zone. Always remember, run from water and hide from wind. We are asking you to abide by the orders of the Emergency Operations Center. We are not going to come drag you out of your house. If you are in the evacuation zones and you don't leave, then it's your responsibility to take care of yourself. Schools in Nassau County District will be closed on Thursday, November the 10th, as well as county government offices. As a reminder, the county and schools are also both closed on Friday, November the 11th for Veterans Day. The Nassau County Supervisor's Elections Office and the Canvassing Board will continue operations as previously scheduled. Public access for election activities remain open. The City of Fernandina Beach government offices will also remain open tomorrow. The county will have sandbags available at 2 locations: Yulee Road Department located at 86200 Jean Lacier Boulevard in Yulee, and at the Hilliard Road Department located at 37356 P Farm Road in Hilliard. Both sites will be open today until 5:30 p.m. Nassau County has already begun experiencing dangerous rip currents, and as a result, double red flags have been placed along the beach. Double red flags indicate that the water is closed. This includes all water activities, including swimming and the use of watercrafts. Both the Nassau County and City of Fernandina Beach are closely monitoring the tides and have suspended beach driving at this time. This applies to Seesaw Park on the City of Fernandina Beach and the county's beach driving areas at Peters Point, Scott Road, and American Beach. Residents are asked to be careful driving in rain or wet conditions and to turn your car around if you encounter flooded streets before, during, and after the storm. It's better to turn around and go an alternate route because the road may have washed away under the water, which you can't see. Should there be power outages and traffic lights are inoperable, Florida law requires they be treated like a 4-way stop intersection. For emergencies, remember to call or text 911. The Sheriff's Office non-emergency number is 904-225-5174. And to keep up with the storm track, you can go to onenassau.com or call the Emergency Operations Center at 904-548-0900. So now I'll turn it over to Director Lippelman.
Thank you, Sheriff. Good afternoon, everybody. Bobby Lippelman, Interim Emergency Management Director for Nassau County. Let me begin by reminding everyone that a tropical storm warning has been issued and is in effect until further notice. Storm surge flooding is estimated to be between 3 and 5 feet along the coastal regions and low-lying areas in Nassau County, Florida. What that means is if you experienced any flooding or any water concerns during Hurricane Matthew or Ian, that may replicate itself in terms of impacts in this storm. Damaging winds and possible tornadoes, the threat of that will increase from the south to the north throughout the evening and into tomorrow. Please ensure that you have multiple ways to receive warnings at night if there's a power failure, and charge up your mobile devices as soon as you can at your convenience. A shelter has been opened at the Callahan Multi-Use Facility. The address is 543350 US Highway 1 in Callahan. This is available for general population, special needs, and is a pet-friendly shelter. Everyone visiting a shelter should be reminded, please bring your personal identification, photo ID, insurance card, emergency contacts, and your primary care providing information. Transportation can be provided to those needing it, whether it be general population or special needs. That can be done by calling the Emergency Operations Call Center. That's 904-548-0900. With regard to the bridge, to clarify any confusion, that we do not anticipate a need to close the bridges. However, in order to protect the motoring public, should the winds exceed 39 miles an hour for an average of 1 minute, there'll be a temporary suspension of the motoring public over the bridge. Once the winds subside below that threshold of 39 miles an hour, the motoring public will be allowed to continue for their safety. So at this time, are there any questions, or I'll turn it back over to the sheriff to take questions? I'm happy to.
I have a question. I know you guys are talking about 2 zones that need to evacuate. Kind of where are those areas where those zones are by chance?
So the zones Alpha and Delta together comprise the low-lying areas of Amelia Island and all the estuaries and watershed and waterways that are along the intracoastal waterway in Nassau County.
Also, when you talked about temporary suspensions for the bridges, how long does that temporary suspension happen if it does exceed 39?
However long Nicole decides to be more than 39 miles an hour. To reopen it is an almost instantaneous event. So, but it will remain that way as long as the winds exceed that threshold.
How long do you think the weather conditions will last? Is there an estimate at this time?
That's a great question. The answer is that the storm continues to be dynamic and changes. With almost every update that we receive from the National Weather Service, something is different. The storm is going 9 miles an hour, or 12 miles an hour, or 14 miles an hour, so can't answer that at this time. We continue to monitor that, and we'll of course push out information through onenassau.com and the telephone call center.
Yes.
You said Fernandina Beach offices will be open tomorrow, government offices?
Yes.
As far as Fernandina Beach, I mean, are you guys expecting those people to maybe have to evacuate if the storm, or when the storm comes by chance, or how does that work?
All we're anticipating is the evacuation zones of Alpha and Delta at this time. We will continue to monitor. Again, it can change, but that's all we're anticipating.
Those are still voluntary?
It's an evacuation order. It's an evacuation order.
So mandatory?
Yeah, I mean, all orders are just that. It's a directive to leave, so it is an evacuation order for their safety and welfare. We know that those areas are prone to be at risk.
Okay, thank you.